Yo, what's up? What's going on, everybody? This is Super Dave again with the PA Political Revolution Podcast, here to give you some of the best information on your local government, things that's going on here in Port Arthur. We are back again for another good show, and especially now since I'm kind of working on some new programs, right? Last time I had like a little screen capture program. Now I got a screen capture program on steroids, right? So this is going to should be a good episode for you, man, and hopefully you'll enjoy the new way I'm starting to present this visual podcast I'm starting to do. So let's kind of go ahead on and kind of go ahead and start off with the show, right? Now, basically what we're going to be talking about, right? Well, the name of the show, first off, is To Be or Not To Be. That is the question. Now, this podcast is going to be about Donald Frank, right? In Donald Frank's first council meeting, he wants to change the EDC. But what has been historically been a type A EDC to a type B EDC, right? The short-term definition, right? The easiest way to put it, a type A EDC is pretty much for business and a lot of job training. That's what I get out of it. Type B is you can take a lot of that money from the EDC and use that for city stuff, like city businesses, fixing streets, drainage, different things that the city should be able to do on its own. So we're going to go ahead and get into everything that's going on here. What I'm going to let you do is listen to the EDC meeting that they had at the council. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and show a couple of, show you what the Port Arthur News said about it. I'm going to bring it to the comptroller site and actually give you the definitions for the Type A and Type B EDCs. So go ahead and I'm going to stay tuned for that. Oh, and pardon me if I'm going to have I might have a lot of emotion on this show today, right? Because it simply hurts my brain whenever I listen to this council meeting. I mean, it's a lot of people that doesn't have a clue of what to do, and even if they've been on the EDC, they're so scared. They don't want to give a firm stance on anything. I hate these type of people, man. I hate people that's scared to take a stance, scared to make a judgment call on anything. Okay, if you don't want to make all these calls, right? What's the reason you're on council for? And let's go ahead and let's kind of go ahead and let you know pretty much what I'm talking about. We're going to go ahead and start with the EDC meeting. I'm going to be commentating throughout this.
A discussion regarding a change in the designation of the Port Arthur Economic Development Corporation from Type A to Type B, allowing the PAEDC to promote and develop new and expanded business enterprises that create or retain primary jobs. Type A, Type B EDC may fund public safety facilities, recycling facilities, etc. And this is something that has been requested by Councilmember Frank. So Councilmember Frank, you may begin that discussion.
Thank you so much to my colleagues and to the mayor on today. I wanted to put this on the agenda that we might begin to discuss perhaps changing the designation of our Economic Development Corporation from a Type A to a Type B. I do recognize the experience of my colleagues who sit on the council at this particular time, Councilman Marks and Councilman Holmes, who have participated in the EDC. And so I look forward to them partaking in this conversation on today as we talk about
digitizing.
Because we have on the agenda.
Missed a lot of your dialogue.
Yeah.
I heard you, Mayor. Bros up.
Missed some of your dialogue. I know I did.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Can hear me.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We can hear you
Hello?
now. We missed some of your dialogue.
Hello?
Something occurred. We can hear you now. Can you hear us?
Okay, I can hear you all. Yes.
Okay, we can hear you. Go right ahead.
Let me reiterate. All right. So again, I'm anxious to hear and ready to hear the expertise from our two council members, Councilman Marks and Councilman Holmes, as well as all of the other council members who have had experience dealing with our EDC. We know that in this new administration, there's going to be an opportunity for other businesses to come, whether that be solar or wind power or all of the other aspects of it. We've done a great job. The EDC's done a great job with industry and opening up our park here in Port Arthur. But I want us to consider as well opening up our EDC for other development as well, so that we can cultivate our community.
Now I'm going to put right here, that's a goddamn lie from Donald Frank. Nothing is closed off with the EDC right now as it sits as a type A, right? The only thing is that you have to go through the voters if you want to use the money for type B type of programs. Nothing is closed off. So I just wanted to go ahead and kind of hit you with that. I'm going to be commentating throughout.
With an A, of course, we know that those fund development of business infrastructure and manufacturing, as well as research and development. But with a B, we are going to be putting on the agenda using some EDC funds for parks, and we know that we have to do that. We have to put B projects on the election slate to get those projects done. If you want to do a B project out of our EDC, because it is a type A, by moving to a type B, we get to do some other projects that you cannot do with an A without election. So we understand that we can do sports and athletic facilities. We can do restaurants, concession parking, transportation facilities. We can even do street and water and sewer facilities along with affordable housing. So
now you can easily see he's just reading that off. He's reading that off. He doesn't know how to explain it in his own words. I believe somebody told him to do this. I don't believe this is of his own knowledge in doing this. I think, if somebody told him to go ahead and try to do this, it'd be easier for him to do whatever he needs to do it with that. So, and they'll take the accountability away from the voters. So it's clear that right here, he doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. He's just kind of reading some things off and can't express it in his own words.
I think there's some more avenues. And as we seek to turn our economy here in Port Arthur for tourism, for recreation, I just want to hear our thoughts about, and the city manager along with our attorney, whether or not it might be advantageous at this juncture to move from an A to a B, and what all that would incur, and whether or not it might be something that would be advantageous for us.
Okay, we have any respondents to what Councilman Frank has brought up?
Now, first person about to speak is Ms. Ingrid Holmes. Ms. Ingrid Holmes is fresh off the EDC, so she should have a good answer for this, right? Let's go ahead and listen to what she has to say.
Discussion?
I think there is always room to discuss changing from an A to a B. I think as you indicated, Councilman, we do have a number of projects that EDC has completed by taking it to the voters to provide those services to our community. As a former member of EDC, we do have partnerships with LIT for job programs. I think transferring from an A to a B is something to discuss long term. I think it takes quite a bit because I have read and have had some discussion about what that means. It does take some time to move that process and to make that transfer. But I think that it's certainly something that could be open for discussion and to see the impact of what transferring from an A to a B would. But I think the EDC has done a good job of providing some of those things that you're talking about through the avenue of taking it to the voters for their thoughts. So I think we've really worked through that smoothly. But certainly there are some things that I think that the attorney and the city manager can talk about. Certainly not a quick fix and not something we can do immediately, but certainly something that deserves some discussion.
Okay.
Now, this is kind of what kind of upsets me, right? We need council members that gives more of a voiceful opinion. We need a strong people that's not just going to go up there and tee the line that, well, it's good for conversation, it's good for this and good for that. We need somebody to give us some hard evidence, hard facts on what the EDC is. What does it really means to be an A EDC, right? What does it really mean to transferring that to a type B EDC, right? We need people that's strong, but not now. Citizens, I got to put most of this on you. A lot of you all voted. A lot of you all voted for these people on the council, right? Now, what you need is change. Now, you don't need people that's going to sit there, lollygag, act like they, not trying to upset anybody, right? If you get people scary, lazy, don't want to upset anybody, nothing is going to change. You're going to still be getting screwed over like you've all been at. Now, Mark's about to say something. Let's hear what Councilmember Marks have to say.
Thank you for those comments, Councilman Holmes. Any other councilman? I know he did speak out about you and Councilman Mark. So,
if I might, Mayor.
Go right ahead.
Yes, I'm in agreement with taking a look at the change in designations, but I do feel like we do need to take our time and do the actual work with the EDC for some type of presentation to the community along with the council so that we can determine how we need to do this to make sure that it's done in such a way that we are benefit from all that goes into us putting that on the ballot. We want to make sure that our citizens understand why we're doing what we're doing and have the EDC executive director and staff along with the city council all on the same page when we make the move to put it on the ballot. I think this deserves some time for us to study a little bit more.
Okay, you're on the board. What do you need to study personally? We need your input as a council member and a former board member of the EDC. We need your input as far as this, right? You have Donna Ray Frank, has no experience on EDC. You have Mark's been on the EDC. You have Ingrid Holmes been on the EDC. And you have Charlotte Moses been on the EDC. Marks, we need your opinion. We need your expertise. We need some information from you, and not to say that everybody need to study some more. What do you know about it? What do you have to say about it?
And I think we need to continue that now, but I don't think that we should move to rush into putting it on the ballot at this time.
Okay, Councilwoman.
Okay, that's great. That's great. one thing. The only thing we got out of that, don't rush it on the ballot. Okay, that's good. That's good. But we need more. We need more confidence in your answer, man. We need to know what you know, and that's why. Look, they don't want you to. They don't want you as a citizen to interrogate these people as council members because they'll get easily exposed. This is like one of the first few meetings for them, and they can't even tell you what they used to do, right? We're not asking, this is not a hard question as a council member, but this is something that they should have easy information on as being a goddamn board member of the EDC. But they so cowardly and weak. Cowardly and weak, you cannot give us a good answer on what you used to do and why this is, in your opinion, good or bad. Okay, Ms. Charlotte Moses. Let's see what Councilmember Moses has to say about this.
Moses, Mayor Pro Tem, I believe.
Yes. Yes, I did.
You have some expertise with EDC as well. Go right ahead.
Yes, I'm thankful and grateful to Councilmember Frank, and really grateful that we've had 3 council members to serve on the EDC prior to coming on council. I served from 2013 to 2015 on the EDC as well, and I think that the approach is for us to, have clarity, have a couple of workshops, and understand the function and the role of the EDC and in our community of what it does and what it would take for us to transfer over through an election to make it a B for, a B EDC, Economic Development Corporation. But I do, and hear from the staff and hear from them about the projects we currently have in place, because if I'm not mistaken, we'd have to dissolve the board as it is, and we'd have to actually go in and settle all projects under A. And we have some long-term projects right now with the Port Arthur news building under construction and a lot of other jobs and other things that are happening. So I believe a workshop would be in order for us to conduct and hold and get a real good understanding of what we're about to embark on, because an A can do B projects. And I understand you are aware of that as well, that we'd have to go to the voters, but at least transparency.
There you go. At least Charlotte Moses is giving out a better goddamn presentation of what she used to do as EDC. That's what we kind of need. We need more self-assuring information from the former EDC people. This should have came from Ingrid Holmes and Kenneth Marks. Ms. Charlotte Moses hasn't been on there since 2015, and she's given a better presentation. Now, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Story over. That's it. It has to go to the voters. Type A EDC can do projects that you can do. Type B projects, you just have to go to the voters. Now, when you go to the voters, the language that the proposal is in, right? They have to use that money particularly to that proposal. But if all of the citizens is removed out the process, they can go ahead and misappropriate, use the money without having to go to the voters. So, and it doesn't have to be done a certain way. It's how they would, feel that it should be used. So, and another thing is, when you're taking money out of the EDC to fix parks and streets, you're taking money away from job training. So that's another big thing you want to watch out. Let's go ahead and listen to Ms. Moses finish her statement.
To me, to the voters, to know what the A is doing, what projects are coming up. The EDC did the 1/8 or the $1 million or 1/8% by way of vote to help with the streets project. The EDC again did the project to help with the housing that had to go to the voters. So the voters knew, the citizens were aware of what.
And also, I just want to interject right here. Now, that housing she's talking about, that's a lot of housing you've seen downtown, probably like on 5th Street, 6th Street. And I think there's a certain money that comes from the EDC and the city, and I believe that's through Legacy Homes. They have a program with the city and the EDC, and that's kind of doing that type of deal. So you have projects going on that the citizens know about, and the citizens are put in place, and they make the actual decisions if they want to use that EDC money for that. So it would be silly for anybody that's a citizen wants to remove them out of the process when it comes to the city money. Now, and you have a lot of people claiming some type of false excitement, manufactured excitement because of this, because of the proposal to change it from a type A to a type B. Most of these people can't give you a reason why they want to change it. Because you can do type B projects, it just has to go to the voters. Let me continue.
Projects we're being given money to that are B projects. So I think the transparency is that citizens can see that the EDC and they can go from an A to a B by way of the voters telling us what to do. And it's very clear. So they can see the streets, the money that's gone to the streets over a period of 4 years. They can see the housing projects. The houses are very relevant, standing on 5th Street and that housing, when others told us we couldn't do it, the voters said yes. And so there we are with homes. I was a big advocate for the homes and the rooftops and helped to campaign to get that passed. So I'm just excited about what the Economic Development Corporation has done and is doing. So, and it just keeps it clear and very concise about the B projects that we do have currently in effect. We're looking forward now to parks that will be updated. And so I'm excited, and I'm excited that the citizens get to see that we're not just utilizing their dollars in a happenstance way, but they see that we're very targeted and that the EDC is transparent and that those dollars are going where they ought to be designated to go. So A can do B projects currently. It's just by way of the voters. But I think
again, A can do type B projects, but it's just through the way of the voters. Now I'm going to be repeating this throughout the whole podcast, right? So you can understand that's all that it is.
Workshop would be very imperative for us to go forward and to move in that direction of making it a B. Not saying that doesn't need to be, but that we need to have all the information, as my other colleagues have said that have served on the Economic Development Corporation. I agree wholeheartedly that we must have workshops and have a clear understanding of what we're doing prior to making that decision.
Okay, now even though she kind of chickened out at the end, didn't want to take a stand, which most of these cowards don't want to take a stand, but she did a good presentation on pretty much saying what I'm saying. Hey, the voters is involved with it. You know, you can do B projects. So, you know, what's the doggone deal? Why you want to take the voters out of it? So, let's continue.
Any other council person?
Yes, Mayor.
Go right ahead, Councilman Jones.
Yeah, I want to thank Councilor Moses and Councilor Holmes and Councilmember Moss for the input, the expertise. As Councilor Moses says, we definitely need a workshop. Councilmember Mark said he's in favor of this discussion, but he's right. You can't do like a light switch, turn it off and on, just turn it off and turn it on, and make a decision overnight. But I'm in favor of, I got a better understanding about A and B, and I'm in favor of this discussion. A to B, you know, whatever.
Cal, you can do your own research, brother. You can do your own research. Go to the comptroller's website. Hell, you can do it right there. I mean, you really don't. Y'all really don't need to have a whole big discussion and understanding this, man. This shit ain't rocket science.
It takes to expand, get more people involved, help more people. That's what I want to do. It's a council question. I want to give everybody a chance, more developers a chance, more businesses a chance. And you know, I don't want EDC cherry picking who they could help, you know, develop.
Okay, Cal, again. Okay, how in the hell is changing from a type A to a type B cherry picking on what projects they do? Only thing that this A and B is you want to keep the voters involved or you want to take the voters out of it. That's pretty much it. You want to have accountability with the voters or you don't want to have accountability with the voters. I mean, and this won't let more businesses come in. All the same businesses can come in. They just have to go to the voters.
You know, who are not going to help, you know. So this A and B will kind of give, especially a little bit more, give people a chance to get some help. I'm highly in favor of this discussion, and I don't want to go under the rug. I don't want to sit on it. I want to get to a workshop and discuss it and see how far we can go to A to B if it's possible. So let's not just discuss it right now, let it go away. I want to keep this discussion going real soon, another time. Thank you, Mayor.
Okay, thank you for your remarks, Councilman Jones. Anyone else would have, councilpersons rather, would have remarks on this discussion? Okay, just go right ahead, Councilman Frank.
I thank all of the council members, and I do defer to all of the expertise that is there. Councilman Moses, let me apologize for not recognizing your service on the EDC, and I thank you for your service there as well and your expertise. But let me quickly rush to say that my bringing this matter up at this particular time is not in any way to ever to supersede or to go around the voters.
Well, Frank, yes, it is, because you can do type B projects without having to change your EDC from being a type A. You just have to bring them to the voters. That is the only difference. That's the only difference, Donald Frank. Yes, you are trying to get past the voters.
To go around them and their input into the projects that are picked and supported by their vote, and to in any way limit their voice. My raising this is simply an attempt to allow the greatest number of individuals a participation in the economic process of our city.
Donald Frank, again, you must not know that you can still have the same participation from whoever you needed to have. The only thing, you just have to bring it to the voters. Nothing is changing. Nothing is changing. You can do type B projects with the type A EDC. The only thing, you just have to bring it is to the voter, Donald Frank. Why are you lying?
Individuals who might have a restaurant, individuals who might want to come into our city with a water park, individuals who might want to come into our city with a restaurant that might be placed on Pleasure Island or in Sabine Pass, as those areas are.
Donald Frank, you keep considering with this water park stuff, right? If you know somebody that wants to have a water park, bring that information to the council. Bring it up so they can put it on the ballot so they can vote for it. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people would want to vote on it, Frank. If you know somebody with a water park, bring it to the council. You don't have to go through this trying to change the EDC for all this shit. You don't have to do all that. Just bring whoever you want to have with a water park or whichever one of these crazy, funny ideas that you have. Bring it to the council. Let them put it on the ballot to use the EDC money for that. That's all you have to do. Now, the city is not in the business of funding companies. So we're not in the business of funding developers. So that's really not our issue. So our issue with the EDC is that should be job training like we're doing. But let me go ahead and finish.
Growing and things are happening. We do a great job of supporting industry, but just making sure that we are always amenable to and that we are able to allow the most participation possible for the growth of our city in every area and phase. And so I just wanted to highlight this so that we can begin the process of either changing or not changing, but looking at it from a perspective of always growing, always moving, and always providing the kind of visionary leadership that our citizens need and deserve here in the city of Port Arthur, because as
Okay, Donald Frank, you talk about this visionary leadership. What type of leadership and visionary have you done with the school board in all your years over there? Thank you. Nothing. School is still have poor scores. Only thing we got up is a new doggone building, closing the Lincoln. But I digress.
those opportunities grow as well. Those are job opportunities for our citizens. Those are opportunities for other businesses to provide services here in our city. So thank you for that participation. But I would ask that we would have a workshop at our earliest convenience, that it would be put together by a legal department to give to us the pros and the cons, that we might, bring it to our citizens for this.
Donald Frank, again, there is no pros and cons. The only thing that it is that type A, you have to go to the voters to use money for type B projects. That's the only thing in there. The only thing. That is the only thing. Just go to the voters. It's no, don't let these crooked ass politicians try to gas you up and thinking they're making some type of progress, some type of big move by changing this EDC. Notice you have Ingrid Holmes from the EDC. You have Kenneth Marks from the EDC. You have Charlotte Moses from the EDC. You have the EDC staff. None of them came up here and talked about changing the EDC, but you have Donald freaking Frank. Pastor Donald Frank thought of it. Look, this is not any type of new type of thinking, some kind of mind-blowing thing. Look, this has already been out there. If they wanted to do it, they could have been done it. You know what I mean? So Donald Frank pushing this issue, this is not any kind of progress, life-changing issue that he's trying to portray it to be, right? The only thing is you remove the voters out of the process.
Them to make that decision and to change that designation if it is something that we need. Thank you all. I appreciate it.
Okay, I see someone from the EDC. Do you all have any remarks on this discussion? You can join in if you wish.
City Manager.
Now, Ron Burton about to give his thing. Now listen to what Ron Burton is saying. It's very important. Listen to exactly what he's saying.
City Manager here, Mayor.
Sir.
Mayor.
Okay, go right in, City Manager.
I'm very delighted of the very professional discourse that has taken place on this subject that's on the agenda this morning. I'm very proud of the council for handling it in that very professional manner. Having said this, you all know that the decision ultimately lies with you as a council to make those changes, But having said that as well, remember that those changes requires coordination, collaboration, information dissemination as far as our communities.
Oh, okay. He preaching now. He preaching and rhyming now. Okay, go on, Mr. Ron Burton. Go ahead on now.
Concern. And there is nothing that is more important than transparency when we deal with issues of economic development. And I'm saying so to introduce the fact that there are changes that are taking place at the global level and at the economic development arena. We need to continue to, now that we're in this pandemic, we need to continue to look at the changes that are taking place globally as far as energy is concerned, and to see how we can position ourselves and our institutions to take advantage of those changes that are taking place globally.
Whoa. Hold the freak on. What the hell? Does anybody know what the hell Ron Burton talking about? He talking about some global position changeling type crap, right? What the hell is this man talking about? The only thing we're talking about here is changing the EDC from a type A to a type B. Now, the only thing that is you letting the voters be involved or you taking away the voters' involvement. What in the flip is Ron Burton talking about? I give $5. Anybody tell me what does this have to do with the global changes? Or what the hell ever he's talking about? Let's go ahead and listen to this crazy ass horseshit.
Maybe 10 years from now, the ideal energy source may not be fossil fuel. Who knows?
Okay, it would still be covered under industrial type stuff in the type A. What does that have to do with this, Ron Burton? Mr. Burton, what does this have to do? What the hell are you talking about?
We don't know where the federal government might be going, but we have an indication. So what we need to do is to continue to
Okay, you don't know where the federal government is going. What the hell is you talking about? Now. Okay. Hold on. This crap is hurting my goddamn brain. Hold on for a minute. Oh Jesus. Oh Lord, these crazes hurting my head. Okay, I'm back now. Okay. Sorry about that, everybody. I'm back. I had to kind of depressurize my brain because these people are talking some crazy ass cow manure type stuff here, right? I don't know what okay, I'm just gonna let it play. Never mind.
To position our institutions locally to take advantage of what's happening globally. And having said that, I think we need to look at institutions like the International Economic Development Council that.
Whoa. What the hell does the International Economic Development Council have to do with goddamn Port Arthur, Texas? Right? What in the hell do we have to do? This international shit have to do with Port Arthur, Texas. See, Ron is going off on some damn bull crap. He know that these people on council don't have a clue what the fuck he's talking about. And he just making this shit up as he goes. The International Economic Development Council, right? Okay, international. It's global. So you telling me they have enough insight to not only tell me what's going on in Port Arthur, China, to Port Arthur, Texas, to Afghanistan, to Miami, Florida, to Boise, Idaho, to Alaska. So you telling me this International Economic Development Center can pinpoint every goddamn thing in every little town across the goddamn globe, right? Come on, man. Get the flip out of here, Ron Burton.
We continue to work very closely with. Floyd and myself have a very close relationship with them. And so they can provide us with a picture of what's happening globally in order that we continue to massage and make the change.
Okay, who you talking to globally, right? So you're saying you close to them, that the international, wherever the hell they at, you have a close relationship. Okay, who you talking to? Okay, what language you speaking to them in, Ron Burton? Does the person you talk to speak English or what? I mean, I don't know, man. Look, this shit sounds crazy as hell. Now, in other words, look, Ron Burton bullshitting the council right now. He's strictly saying some crazy ass horse shit, right? Because the shit he talking about has nothing to do with changing the EDC from a type A to a type B.
Changes that we need to make locally to take advantage, very full advantage of what's happening for our people, for industry, and for the business community, and for the community out here at large. So it's a good discussion. I would be happy to work with council, with the city attorney, and with the EDC to see what can be done for the future.
See, if I was on council, I'd ask Ron Burton who the hell he talking to from the International Economic Development Center. What's the person's name, where they work at, what's the job title, what city they in, what country they in. So what the council need to do is make Ron Burton get with the Economic Development Center and get a plan from them. I want to see something from them to see what they say since they working so close to them, allegedly.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you for your remarks, City Manager. And anyone else would have any remarks or points to add to this discussion? Okay, if not, I will make the remark that I concur with all of your input on this, and we would move according to directives that would be given by our attorney, city attorney, and even the attorneys for the EDC and the EDC administration, working along with the city manager to put together what needs to happen for all of us to be apprised of what needs to happen for us going forward with something like this. And as it began, I think, with Councilman.
You can already go forward then with whatever you want to do, Mayor. You just need to have the voters with you. That's all, Mayor.
Homes, we are not trying to do something in a speedy way. I would not want to be a part of something that a decision is made without having all of and someone alluded to that, pros and cons,
Well, Mayor, you're already being a part of it because right now you can do whatever you want to do. The only difference is you have the voters involved. Now change it to a type B, you're taking the voters out of it, Mayor. So there would be a quote unquote speedy type of situation. You're taking the voters out of it.
What's good about it, and what's negative or bad about it. Because with everything that you would actually pursue, there is two different sides. And we would want to be able to consider everything before we would make a change like this that would affect what we're doing going forward in the city of Port Arthur. Okay, so I'm good. I'm glad that we've had this discussion. And again, as the city manager said, so intelligently, you ought to be commended, council person.
Now they so silly, right? The mayor just said Ron Burton was saying something eloquently. They so silly, they don't even know what the hell Ron Burton was talking about. Ron Burton just made up some shit, told it to the council. They so goddamn incompetent that they thanking him for the shit.
For being able to intelligently enter in the dialogue without an argumentative nature about something. And I just want to commend you on that. Okay, let's move, if you will. If no one else has anything on that, right? Okay,
No.
So let's move, if you will. There's no public hearings, no unfinished business.
Now, that's how goddamn silly this council meeting is, man. I'm trying to tell you. The meeting you hear is you got a couple of council members don't have a clue what they want to do, right? And you have nobody knows what the hell is going on. Now, this is the problem when you don't have people like a Willie Bay Lewis on the council, man. You got people just saying crazy ass stuff. City manager bullshitting the council. Nobody can call it. Nobody don't have a clue of what the hell is going on, right? Now, poll Frank. Now, Pastor Frank, this is what he was running on, right? He's running on, he wants to be accountable to you, the citizens. Let's do this together. But the pastor's straight lying to you. He doesn't want to do this together, right? Because if you change the EDC from a type A to a type B, he wants to remove you from the process. So the pastor's lying on this. I got to call BS on it. He's lying. He doesn't want to be accountable. He does not want to be accountable. Now, let's go ahead and go to the Port Arthur News, right? The PA EDC PA discussing EDC direction to change, right? So now, right here we say the type A to type B EDC is saying that it would allow the board to promote and develop new and expanded business ventures that create and retain primary jobs according to the city council agenda, right? The news had to go ahead and put that in there because they know there's some bull crap. They know it's some bull crap, so they had to say that's according to the agenda. Now, let's just show you how the propaganda in this news is, right? They're going to have what they have from the EDC. Now, let me just show you how sad this trash is. The Texas Comptroller's website explains Type A EDCs are typically created to fund industrial development projects such as business infrastructure, manufacturing, and research and development. Type A EDCs can also fund military base, realignment, job training classes. That's the last thing they have, job training classes and public transportation. Next to the last thing, right? Now, Type B EDCs can fund all projects eligible for Type A, as well as parks, museums, sports, facilities, and affordable housing. However, Type B EDCs are subject to more administrative restrictions than the Type A. Now, notice they didn't say the Type A, you could do all of Type B, that it goes to the voters. They conveniently left that out for you, right? And that's just what propaganda does. It left that out. Now, but notice the propaganda where they say Type B can fund all eligible Type A, right? They didn't say the reverse for the Type A. They didn't say Type A can do all fund Type B with the voters. They left it out and specifically made it look like the Type B is better because they say the B can fund A's. And they didn't say that the A can fund B with going to the voters. They put more administrative restrictions than Type A. That's some bullshit right there. This news, Mary mode, is trash. It's trash. They particularly think you stupid, right? They think you're stupid. Now, Frank says with the new administration in office at the Capitol, now is the time for change with the economic development. Now, this statement is goddamn garbage because that would mean changing from Republican to Democrat. You have to change the type of EDC every 4 or 8 years. That doesn't make any goddamn sense. They think you're stupid. Frank thinks you're stupid. The doggone, the Port Arthur News, Mary Mo, they think you're stupid, right? And we just played the doggone thing. I didn't remember Frank saying with the new administration in office at the Capitol, now's the time to change with the economic development. I think he probably said something, but he didn't put it together like the news does. So just understand that the news, they're going to be deceptive. These jokers are being deceptive to point out lying to you, right? Now, right here. If the PAEDC were a Type B organization, the issue would not have to be placed on the ballot. And understand that's the main issue for you. You want to be placed on the ballot. You as a citizen, you want to be as much of the process as you want to be. You're talking about everybody come on out and vote. Everybody, you need to be a part of the process. So you can't at the same time talk about everybody come out and vote, but hell, you want to change this to a Type B and take yourself out the process. So that's how doggone crooked these damn council members are. Currently 3 council members on there, Moses, Marks, Ingrid Holmes, have spent time on the EDC board and they have knowledge of the organization's works, but yet none of them brought these changes to council, right? You have doggone Pastor Frank, coming straight from the school board over here. That's the first thing he wants to do. You have to kind of pause and look at that, right? Don't be fooled in thinking this is some type of progression, right? All change isn't progress. Just have to understand that. Some of these people have a different underlying issues on here, right? Now, they said Mark says he's in favor of the discussion and taking time to present the findings to the community so we can determine how we need to do this and make sure it's done in such a way to benefit the community. The citizens know that we want to do it. So they pretty much screwed up Mark's comments, right? They kind of twisted it up because Mark's, from the audio, you can go back and listen to what he was saying. Marks was pretty much saying that he didn't want to put it on the ballot right away. That's the major thing. Just to hold off for a minute, do your research first. So they kind of twist his words up right here. So you kind of have to watch for that. Oh, right here. Locally, the 3 mid-county EDCs have a Type B EDC, Neyland Groves Reform, 96 and Port Neches Form. So what they saying, what Neyland, Groves, and Port Neches, I believe they fall under the exemption of being landlocked and have less than 20,000 people. I'm gonna get to that a little bit later. I think that's why they qualify for that. I'm not sure. That's what I believe. Now, Now, right here, you have to understand right here, the type B, there would be a new EDC board, directors, and currently city council members would be allowed to sit on this type of EDC board. So, man, look, let the EDC board do the EDC. You don't need these brain dead council members trying to be involved with everything. They want it, look, pretty much, let me tell you right here, we have to understand, a lot of people come to the council to make hustles, right? To make hustles, to make deals, to try to make a deal with a goddamn developer so he can get kickbacks. That's all what a lot of them do, and that's what people saying that Frank does, right? You know, that's just the allegations out there. Don't have any proof on it, but that's what a lot of people believe he does. And especially him being up there with his cousin, the mayor, you know, nothing good will come from it, right? Now, let's go ahead and show you what does a type A is, right? As you can see, this is from the comptroller.texas.gov website, blah, 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 economic, blah, blah, blah. How type A sales tax revenue can be used. Type A sales tax is primarily intended for manufacturing and industrial development. EDCs may use type A revenue to fund land, building, equipment, expenditures, targeted infrastructure, and improving the projects, including manufacturing, industrial facilities, recycling facilities, distribution centers, small warehouse facilities, research development facilities, regional or national corporation headquarters facilities, primary job training facilities, right? Boom, that's job training right there. Operated by a higher education institution, job training classes. That's another one. Telephone call centers, which are jobs, right? We had the call center back over here with Service Zone Client Logic in Port Arthur, right? They probably got some of the, funding from the EDC through their type A. And that hired a lot of people over there. I'm just speculating, but I believe so. Looking at this, you said telephone call center, so that has to fall right in there. And career centers, right? That's not located with the junior college or taxing district. Notice all of these job-specific things that the type A can do right now. Notice the Port Arthur's page, they didn't explain all of this to you, right? You're getting some lesson over here. You're getting your education over here, right? I'm going to teach you to look at this propaganda, right? You keep on listening to the PA Political Revolution podcast. It's going to tell you a lot of better things than these council members are scared to tell you. Right, certain infrastructure improvements that promotes or develop new or expanded business enterprises, right? Jobs, businesses, this is what you want to have as a type A, right? These are the primary things need to be happening. Aviation facilities, commuter rail, light, commuter bus operation, port-related facilities, rail ports, rail switch facilities, marine ports, inland ports, maintenance and operating costs associated with the projects. Look, this is the main thing right now, game over. With voter approval, Type A EDCs may fund projects eligible under Type B without voting to abolish the Type A tax and impose the Type B tax. Let me read that again. With voter approval, the Type A EDCs may fund projects eligible under Type B without voting to abolish the Type A tax and impose the Type B tax. So this is made for if you want to do the Type B. It says it so you don't have to do this. It says that you can do Type B without having to abolish the Type A tax and impose the Type B tax. It says that you don't have to do this, right? This is what Ingrid Holmes should have been saying. This is what Kenneth Marks should have been saying. This is what all these people that's been sitting there on the EDC brain dead. This is the information they should have said. It says it right here. You don't have to do it. It is how it's made that you can go ahead and do Type B projects without having to change it to a Type B tax, right? It's right there. In this situation, Type A EDC must publish notice to intent to fund the Type B project, hold at least one public hearing, and conduct a special election. This is for the accountability of the citizens, right? This is what you want as a citizen. And Frank, lying, crooked ass, I'm saying it, came out of my mouth, not yours. With his lying ass, right? These crooks want to remove you from the goddamn process. Now, most people think this is some goddamn forward moving type stuff, some type of progress. No, this is not. These are straight con artists up in here. You've elected a con artist in goddamn council. It's saying it right here. You can go ahead and look it up. Google Texas Comptroller Type A EDC. You can pull this right on up. You can pull it up. Go ahead and put it on pause. You can do it right now. Type A EDCs may seek voter approval to spend Type A sales tax funds to clean up contaminated property. Type A corporation cannot assume or pay principal interest debts exhibited before the thing. Okay. Bam. Disclaimer, shouldn't be used. Okay. Boom. We got that. Let's see what a Type B can be used for. Type B target infrastructure improvements for professional and amateur sports and athletic facilities, tourism and entertainment facilities, convention facilities and public parks. Okay, why in the hell are you using this to fund professional sports? I don't know, but I'm just speculating here. It looks like, Frank probably want to use some of the city money to pay for another stadium for the school district. I don't know. You probably want to check it out because remember, they was talking about getting a bond issue to pay for the school thing. So just kind of watch out, right? Watch out when these elected officials want to use citizens' money to help developers. Now understand, that's the reason why downtown was never done, right? The city's money is used to fix streets, does things for the city. It's not used to help developers rebuild the city so they won't take a loss. Hell, if they rebuild downtown and they have to incur the loss, right? Cities don't do that. Cities don't pay developers to develop. Now, what the city should and could be doing, right? What they've been done before, like in places like downtown where there's not enough traffic at, they can give tax abatements, not direct cash, but tax abatements so that if anybody want to develop in those undesirable locations or kind of hard locations to bring people to, you can get a tax abatement, but not direct cash. So don't let these crooks think that just tax dollars is not for that. Your tax dollars is not to supplement a goddamn developer so they can build something. Regardless if it's a park or anything or not, that's not the use for your tax dollars. Okay. Back here, related stores, restaurant, concessions, park, and transportation facilities. Look like it's a school district to me, but I'm speculating on that. Related streets and water sewer facilities. That's city stuff. Affordable housing. Now, we did this over there. We're doing it right now with the money going on with 5th and 6th Street over there. We going with the legacy program. Get on the housing thing. You get money from the EDC and you get money from the city, if I'm not mistaken. So we're doing that right now. That went to the voters. The voters approved for it. So, that's all that needs to be happening. Let them take all of this stuff to the voters. To promote and develop expanded business enterprises that create or attain certain primary jobs and Type B EDC fund. Public safety facilities, recycling facilities, street, roads, drainage, and related improvements, demolition of existing structures, generally municipally owned improvements, maintenance and operating costs associated with projects. What I'm thinking this is like contractor job. All this city stuff, you be hiring contractors to do this stuff, which we should be doing as a city, right? And you got to understand, Frank came from the school district pushing bonds. Frank he's known to burn up tax dollars. He'll set tax dollars right on fire in front of your face. They done pushed all them. Look, they done let Lincoln go ahead and go to hell, not fixed it up and say, hey, we need some new schools. Hey, when we get some new schools, his kids will learn better and they'll have a lot better experience and grades will go up. So that never happened. We just wasted a lot of money on there. Close to what? $400 million in bonds. I didn't see any type of big job fair going to hire people locally for that. So they just ate up all the money, probably got some kicks back for it. That's what they do. That's what you're a part of, going and burning in the tax dollars, spending this money where it don't need to be spent, and to allegedly get kicks back. I'm just speculating on that, right? Now, this is where I said that the Needland, the Port Natures, and the Groves, kind of fall in that exemption. Exemption for small cities and landlocked communities. Type B EDC is created by cities with a population under 20,000 or less than those classified as landlocked communities may use sales tax proceeds to fund projects that promote new or expanded businesses developments that do not create or retain primary jobs. Landlocked communities must be located in either Harris or Dallas communities and have less than 100 acres within their city limits and extraterritorial jurisdiction zone for the manufacturing and industrial facilities. So that's what I'm thinking that the local cities buyers have, right? They have their smaller cities with the less population. So I think that's what they fall under. Understand? We don't need. Look, we don't need this to change from a type A to a type B. But remember, we're going back how the type A sales tax is. So with voter approval, type A EDCs may fund projects eligible under type B without voting to abolish the type A tax and impose the type B tax. Ladies and gentlemen, this is pretty much game over. This is what you have to understand. No council member can do this shit, can do what I'm telling you. They don't want to tell you this. They don't want to empower you. They want you just to do it in the hell they say, listen to what they do, and they want to run amok without having to be accountable to the citizens, people. So understand, look, nobody does this better than me. You have all these people that claim to be political people or political advocates, all these fake advocates. They supposed to give you the real information. They supposed to be talking to you on the real side of things, all this stuff. Look, nobody can do this better. I've completely broken down the benefits of a type A to a type B. The type A is already designed where you don't have to change the tax structure of it to a type B. So why you want to do it? So obviously, all these people on the council from the EDC, they know this. They didn't bring it up there. So again, you have to wonder what in the hell is Frank trying to do? First thing on the council, right? He wants to do some crazy ass stuff with this and want to make it look like he's doing something. In other words, he's just trying to take you out of the process, right? He lied to you, said he wants to be accountable to you, but he wants to take you out the process, right? All right, that's pretty much it, man, and I appreciate you for y'all listening. Hopefully y'all like the way that this program is being presented, the little slideshow and everything I've got to y'all. So, hey, I'm go ahead and end the show right here. Appreciate y'all for listening, and don't let these crooked ass council people lie to you. And take it easy. Peace.